Breaking news at this hour from the LA Unified School District.
Yeah, 2 elementary schools turned away federal agents this week, sparking immigration enforcement fears. Let's listen in. Superintendent of Los Angeles Unified School District, Alberto Carvalho, speaking now.
I would be a hypocrite if I did not fight for those who today are facing conditions that over 40 years I faced as an undocumented migrant to this country. I want to repeat that. I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world, regardless of my position today, if today I did not fight for those who find themselves in the same predicament I faced over 40 years ago when I arrived in this country at the age of 17 as an undocumented immigrant. Education made me and saved me. I became a teacher, a principal, a superintendent leading the nation's largest districts, 4 times selected as National Superintendent of the Year. Do not underestimate the power of the immigrant child who may very well become an adult who does well and good by America. If I come across with a certain degree of contempt and anger, I am, because Monday, actions were taken in this community that have no place in our city, in our state, or across America. Monday at 2 different elementary schools, 2 hours apart, teams of 3 to 4 individuals approached 2 elementary schools, one Lillian Elementary School on the east side and the other one Russell Elementary School on the south side. Russell Elementary was visited at around 10 o'clock in the morning this past Monday by 4 individuals who, after being introduced to the principal, identified themselves not as ICE, but as Homeland Security agents, asking specific questions about 4 students. These students range in grades from 1st to 6th grade. My very first question starts there. What interest should a Homeland Security agent have in a 1st grader, or a 2nd grader, a 3rd grader, or a 4th grader for that matter? 2 hours later, the same type of event took place at the 2nd elementary school, at Lillian Elementary School. At Lillian Elementary School, 3 individuals who also identified themselves after the principal asked for badges as Homeland Security, wanting to clarify that they were not ICE, asking questions about one student in that school, this time a 6th grader. I am proud of these principals. I am proud of our workforce. I am proud of the clerical staff in the front office, for they did exactly what we trained them to do. You see, in advance of the November election, in advance of the executive orders that have been published and announced, we declared back in August and September and October that at Los Angeles Unified we had protocols in place and training in place to prepare our workforce in a preparation for and protection of our students. And these principals and their staffs followed the protocol. They asked for identification, which at least in one of the cases, officials initially were reluctant to show their IDs. Once IDs were presented, principals attempted to take information down. At that point, the agents pocketed their IDs, refusing to allow the writing down of their names and badge numbers. They declared to the principals in both instances that the caretakers of these students had authorized them to go to the school. We have confirmed that that is a falsehood. We've spoken with the caretakers of these children, in some cases parents, and they deny any interaction with these entities and certainly deny providing authorization for these individuals to have any contact with these children at the school. In one of the cases, The principal did say that these individuals were professional but stern, and they attempted to contradict the position of the principal, saying they had every authority to be in the school and have access to these children. That is incorrect. The principals did the right thing. They denied access. They asked for proof of agency. They immediately contacted our regional operations office and our legal department, for we have individuals who have been specifically trained to deal with these types of situations. From a legal perspective, our school board police was deployed to the school to provide assistance. Our legal department was notified to take any and all appropriate action, and operations staff were deployed to the school to assist. In light of this response, at both schools, the officers retreated, got in their dark vehicles, and left without any further action being taken. I'm still mystified as to how a first, second, third, fourth, or sixth grader would pose any type of risk to the national security of our nation that would require Homeland Security to deploy its agents to 2 elementary schools. I will put my job on the line easily, as I have done on the East Coast, in protection of our students. No federal agency has the authority, short of a judicial warrant, that means the equivalent of a criminal subpoena, to enter our schools. We will protect our kids. We will educate our kids. We will inspire our kids. We will not allow abuse, intimidation of our children or our workforce. Schools are places for learning. Schools are places for understanding. Schools are places for instruction. Schools are not places of fear. I spoke with both principals, and their words resonate powerfully in my mind. They both describe feeling fear, and they both describe their faculties as feeling fear. But they also demonstrate incredible courage and determination. I asked them, are the kids okay? And she said the kids are okay, both principals. The children are okay. But the communities are feeling fear, and that is a shame. Este lunes pasado enfrentamos una condición que sinceramente no tiene ningún lugar en nuestro país, en nuestra comunidad, aquí en nuestra ciudad. Como superintendente de escuelas.
All right, you've been listening to LAUSD Superintendent there, Alberto Carvalho, speaking out about what has occurred at 2 local elementary schools, Lillian and Russell, where a couple of Homeland Security agents showed up there on the campus and were inquiring about some students at Russell Elementary School. They were asking about 4 students in 1st through 6th grade, and then at Lillian Elementary School, they were inquiring about 1 student, but they were denied access by the school. They were not allowed to proceed. Basically, those agents then just left.
And this was protocol that they practiced. The faculty and staff at these schools, they put these protocols in place before the November election, according to the superintendent. So they were aware of perhaps the situation coming to play one day, and then they implemented the protocols, that the school is not the right place for that to happen, and that students and children inside schools should remain safe and free from any kind of that business being conducted.
And the point he made regarding what do the kids have to do with anything. He also made the point to say that he would be a hypocrite not to speak out against this, and he did repeat that, stating that he himself at one point was in this country illegally, and that you know, he reached the position he's reached and attained everything he's attained because he was allowed to stay here and pursue his dreams. So he was making a statement in that sense.
Right, hitting very close to home for him.
And that's why he was very passionate in his speech there. But anyway, this is a big story, a big local story that will continue to follow throughout the morning, and Coco McAvoy is there live, so she will be bringing us stories throughout the morning and later on today as well.